Lawmen and gunslingers are two sides of the same coin in the Wild West. One stood for justice, the other for chaos. But both had one thing in common: speed. In a world where a fraction of a second meant life or death, being the fastest draw wasn't just a skill, but survival. Hollywood brought these legends to life, but some actors took it a step further, mastering the art of the real quick draw. No CGI, no camera tricks, just pure, blistering speed. But who was the fastest? Which actor was the fastest six-gun draw? Glenn Ford. Born Gwilyn Samuel Newton Ford, Glenn Ford would be its first inductee if Hollywood had a quick-draw Hall of Fame. Known for his roles as the quiet, deadly gunslinger, Ford wasn't just acting, but competing. Rumor has it that he could draw and fire a single-action Colt in a blistering 0.4 seconds. To put that in perspective, the average human blink takes 0.3 seconds. Ford was shooting when it takes you to miss a single frame of his performance. His 1956 film, The Fastest Gun Alive, wasn't just a clever title. Ford's character, a humble storekeeper hiding a lethal past, gave him the perfect platform to flex his skills. In one iconic scene, he outdraws a braggart gunslinger without breaking a sweat. Director Russell Rouse later admitted Ford's speed was so unnerving that they had to tweak camera angles to avoid making his rivals look like amateurs. But Ford's talent wasn't just raw speed. He studied the mechanics of the draw like a scientist, obsessing over grip angles and holster designs. He even worked with a former Texas Ranger to perfect his technique. The result? A style that blended efficiency with cinematic flair. When Ford drew, it wasn't just fast. It was smooth, like he'd been born with a six-shooter in his palm. His legacy set the bar for every cowboy actor who followed. Arvo Ojala. Behind every great Hollywood gunslinger was Arvo Ojala, who never starred in a Western but shaped nearly all of them. A former Marine and competitive shooter, Ojala became the go-to guru for actors needing to look lethal with a revolver. His resume? A who's who of cowboy icons: James Arness of Gunsmoke, Clint Walker of Cheyenne, and even Glenn Ford. Ojala's genius lay in his ability to marry realism with razzle-dazzle. He knew real gunfights were messy and chaotic, but style mattered on screen. He taught actors to modify their draws for maximum visual impact, using wider stances and exaggerated motions that popped on camera. "Audiences don't want reality," he once said. "They want to feel the danger." His signature move? The movie draw, where a shooter fans the hammer mid-draw for a rapid six-shot volley. Spoiler: that's not how real revolvers work, but it sure looked cool. Ojala himself was no slouch when it came to speed. He could reportedly draw and fire in 0.2 seconds, a feat that made him one of the fastest shooters in the world. His most famous pupil? James Arness's portrayal of Marshal Matt Dillon in Gunsmoke relied heavily on Ojala's coaching. Arness, a towering 6 feet 7 inches, initially fumbled with his holster like a kid with mittens. Ojala redesigned his rig, lowered the holster for easier access, and drilled him until the actor could draw in under 0.5 seconds. The result? A lawman who looked as commanding as he did credible. Ojala's influence didn't stop at training. He designed custom holsters for stars, including Ford's infamous fast rig, which tilted the revolver's grip forward for lightning draws. He even crafted dummy guns to fire via hidden strings for safer stunt work. By the 1960s, if a Western hero looked like he could outdraw the devil himself, you could bet Arvo Ojala had a hand in it. Sammy Davis Jr. When you think of Sammy Davis Jr., you probably think of his smooth voice, dazzling dance moves, or Rat Pack charm. But you might not know that Sammy Davis Jr. was a deadly quick-draw artist. The man who could sing, dance, and act his way into your heart could also outdraw most of Hollywood's cowboy stars. Davis's fascination with guns began during his time in the Army, where he learned marksmanship and developed a love for firearms. But it wasn't until the 1950s that he took up fast drawing as a hobby. He trained under the legendary Arvo Ojala, who taught him the finer points of the craft. Davis wasn't just a casual student, he was a natural. With a draw time clocking in at 0.3 seconds, he could draw and fire faster than most professional shooters. Davis didn't just keep his skills to himself. He competed in fast draw competitions, often going head-to-head with seasoned shooters. In one famous match, he faced off against Jerry Lewis, another Hollywood star with a knack for quick draw. The two traded shots in a friendly but competitive duel, with Davis coming out on top. His contemporaries often marveled at his dedication. "Sammy didn't do anything halfway," said Frank Sinatra. "If he was going to draw a gun, he was going to be the best at it." Davis's quick-draw skills even made their way into his performances. In his 1966 Western comedy, A Man Called Adam, he played a jazz musician who could handle a revolver as deftly as a trumpet. The film featured a scene where Davis's character outdraws a group of thugs, showcasing his real-life speed and precision. Off-screen, he often entertained friends and co-stars with impromptu demonstrations, proving that his talents weren't just for the camera. Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis is best remembered as the king of slapstick comedy, who could turn a pratfall into an art form. But behind the goofy grin and rubbery limbs was a surprisingly skilled quick-draw artist. Lewis's love for fast draw began in the 1950s when he trained with Arvo Ojala. What started as a hobby quickly turned into a passion, and Lewis became one of the fastest shooters in Hollywood. Lewis's draw time was an impressive 0.25 seconds, a speed that put him in the same league as professional shooters. He didn't just practice for fun, he competed in fast draw tournaments, often against seasoned competitors. In one memorable competition, he faced off against Sammy Davis Jr., with the two trading shots in a friendly but intense duel. Lewis's competitive streak was legendary. "Jerry didn't just want to win," said one friend. "He wanted to be the best." Lewis's quick draw skills even found their way into his comedy routines. In his 1957 film, The Delicate Delinquent, he played a bumbling janitor who accidentally becomes a hero. The film featured a scene where Lewis's character outdraws a gang of thugs, using his real-life speed to add a layer of authenticity to the comedy. Off-screen, he often entertained friends and co-stars with impromptu demonstrations, proving that his talents weren't just for the camera. But Lewis's love for fast draw wasn't just about competition or comedy. It was also a way for him to connect with his audience. "People see me as this goofy guy," he once said, "but when I draw a gun, they see a different side of me. It's like showing them a hidden part of myself." Audie Murphy. Audie Murphy was already a legend before he set foot on a movie set. As one of the most decorated soldiers of World War II, he earned every major U.S. military award for valor, including the Medal of Honor. But when he returned home, Murphy traded his rifle for a six-shooter, becoming one of Hollywood's most beloved Western stars. Murphy's transition from war hero to actor wasn't easy. He had to learn the ropes of acting, including the art of the quick draw. But if there was one thing Murphy knew how to do, it was handle a gun. He trained tirelessly, working with experts like Arvo Ojala to perfect his technique. His draw time? A blistering 0.35 seconds, a speed that made him one of the fastest shooters in Hollywood westerns. Murphy's dedication to authenticity was unmatched. He insisted on doing his stunts, including fast draw scenes, and often clashed with directors who wanted to use camera tricks to fake the action. "If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right," he said. His commitment paid off, and he became known for his realistic portrayals of gunfighters. Thell Reed. If Hollywood's quick-draw stars were the gunslingers of the silver screen, Thell Reed was the armorer who kept their revolvers spinning. A master shooter and technical advisor, Reed's influence on westerns spanned decades, though he rarely stepped into the spotlight himself. His story is of quiet brilliance, a behind-the-scenes maestro who turned actors into believable gunfighters. Reed's journey began in the world of competitive shooting. By age 16, he was already a national champion, known for his lightning-fast draw times and pinpoint accuracy. His personal best: a jaw-dropping 0.2 seconds to draw and fire, a speed that made him one of the fastest shooters in the world. But Reed wasn't content to just win trophies. He wanted to share his knowledge, and Hollywood provided the perfect stage. In the 1950s, Reed began working as a technical advisor for Western films, teaching actors how to handle firearms with authenticity and flair. His first major project was The Rifleman, 1958, where he trained Chuck Connors to perform the show's iconic rapid-fire rifle spins. Reed's expertise didn't stop at rifles. He also taught Connors how to draw and fire a revolver in under 0.4 seconds, a skill that added depth to his character's tough-as-nails persona. Reed's reputation grew, and soon he was the go-to guy for Hollywood's biggest stars. He worked with John Wayne on True Grit in 1969, teaching the Duke how to handle a revolver with the swagger of a seasoned gunslinger. He trained Steve McQueen for Wanted, Dead or Alive, 1958, helping the actor perfect his signature sawed-off rifle technique. In the 1990s, he coached Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise for Interview with the Vampire in 1994 and The Last Samurai, 2003. Proving his skills weren't limited to westerns. Reed's legacy lives on in the countless westerns he helped shape. From the quick-draw duels of the 1950s to the epic gunfights of modern cinema, his fingerprints are everywhere. And, while he may not have been a household name, his impact on Hollywood is undeniable. Bob Munden. Bob Munden would have been Michael Jordan if quick draw were an Olympic sport. Known as the fastest man with a gun who ever lived, Munden was a living legend in the world of exhibition shooting. His feats of speed and accuracy were so mind-boggling that they often seemed like magic. But for Munden, it was all about practice, precision, and some showmanship. Munden's career began in the 1960s when he competed in fast draw tournaments. His draw time was a staggering 0.20 seconds, a speed so fast it was almost impossible to see with the naked eye. In perspective, the average human reaction time is around 0.25 seconds. Munden could draw and fire before most people even realized he'd moved. But Munden wasn't just fast. He was also incredibly accurate. He could hit targets the size of a playing card from 20 feet away, often while blindfolded or using a mirror to aim. His signature trick: shooting a balloon filled with flour, then hitting the falling particles before they hit the ground. It was a feat that combined speed, precision, and timing, and left audiences in awe. Munden's talents didn't go unnoticed by Hollywood. He appeared on countless TV shows, including The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and That's Incredible, where he demonstrated his skills to millions of viewers. He also worked as a technical advisor for films, teaching actors to handle firearms with the same flair and precision he was known for. One of his most famous students was Val Kilmer, who trained with Munden for his role as Doc Holliday in Tombstone in 1993. Kilmer's lightning-fast draw and smooth gun handling in the film directly resulted from Munden's coaching. "Bob didn't just teach me how to shoot," Kilmer said. "He taught me how to be a gunslinger." But Munden's career wasn't without controversy. Some critics questioned whether his record-breaking speed were truly possible, arguing that the technology used to measure his draw times wasn't accurate. Munden, however, never backed down. "I don't care what anyone says," he told a reporter. "The proof is in the shooting." Munden's legacy is one of unparalleled skill and showmanship. He pushed the boundaries of what was possible with a revolver, turning quick draw into an art form. And while he may have passed away in 2012, his feats inspire shooters and filmmakers alike. While Glenn Ford, Sammy Davis Jr., and Bob Munden might steal the spotlight regarding Hollywood's quick-draw legends, they weren't the only ones who could handle a six-shooter with style. The Western genre was filled with actors and experts who brought their flair to the art of the fast draw, each leaving their mark on the silver screen. Take John Doucette, for example. Doucette was a Doucette, a character actor who appeared in over 200 films and TV shows. He was known for his rugged looks and no-nonsense demeanor. But what many people don't know is that he was also a skilled quick-draw artist. With a draw time of 0.45 seconds, Doucette wasn't the fastest gun in town, but he made up for it with his smooth, deliberate style. He often played the grizzled lawman or the tough-as-nails outlaw, roles that showcased his ability to handle a revolver with confidence. Then there's James Arness, the towering star of Gunsmoke. Standing at 6 feet 7 inches, Arness wasn't exactly built for speed, but under the tutelage of Arvo Ojala, he became a credible gunslinger. His draw time of 0.5 seconds might not have broken any records. Still, it was enough to make Marshal Matt Dillon one of the most iconic lawmen in TV history. Arness's deliberate, almost methodical style added a layer of authenticity to his character, proving that speed wasn't everything. Let's not forget the influence of real-life gunfighters like Wyatt Earp and Wild Bill Hickok, whose exploits inspired countless westerns. While their actual draw times are lost to history, their legends live on through the actors who portrayed them. Burt Lancaster's portrayal of Earp in Gunfight at the OK Corral in 1957 and Gary Cooper's take on Hickok in The Plainsman in 1936 brought these larger-than-life figures to the big screen, complete with their interpretations of the quick draw. But it wasn't just actors who kept the fast draw tradition alive. Experts like Ed McGivern and Tom Fry also played a role in shaping Hollywood's portrayal of gunfights. McGivern, a legendary exhibition shooter, could fire 5 shots in under 0.45 seconds, a feat that earned him a place in the Guinness Book of World Records. Fry, meanwhile, was known for his incredible accuracy, once hitting 100,000 tin cans in a row without a single miss. Their skills inspired a generation of filmmakers who sought to capture the same excitement and precision in their movies. These portrayals' blend of authenticity and entertainment made the Western genre enduring. Whether it was a seasoned actor like John Wayne or a real-life sharpshooter like Bob Munden, each brought their unique style to the art of the quick draw. And While the West might have faded from its golden age, the legacy of these fast-draw practitioners lives on. The quick-draw duel is more than just a cinematic trope. It symbolizes the Old West, a moment of high drama that captures the imagination. From the dusty streets of Tombstone to the sound stages of Hollywood, the art of the fast draw has left an indelible mark on popular culture. But its influence goes beyond just Westerns. In the 1960s and 70s, the quick draw found its way into other genres, from spy thrillers to action films. Sean Connery's James Bond famously outdrew a gang of assassins in Dr. No in 1962. Clint Eastwood's Man with no name brought the same stoic intensity to spaghetti westerns like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in 1966. Even modern films like John Wick in 2014 owe a debt to the quick-draw tradition with their emphasis on speed, precision, and style. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of the quick draw is its impact on competitive shooting. Organizations like the World Fast Draw Association, WFDA, keep the tradition alive, hosting tournaments where shooters compete for the title of fastest gun in the world. These events are a testament to the skill and dedication of the original Hollywood gunslingers, who turned a cinematic trick into a legitimate sport. Let's not forget the influence of quick draw on pop culture. From video games like Red Dead Redemption to TV shows like Westworld, the fast draw captivates audiences. It's a reminder of a bygone era when the line between hero and villain was as thin as a hair trigger. But at its heart, the quick draw is about more than just speed. It's about the tension, the drama, the moment when everything hangs in the balance. Whether Glenn Ford draws in 0.4 seconds or Bob Munden fires in 0.02, the quick draw is a testament to the power of human skill and ingenuity. So, the next time you watch a Western, take a moment to appreciate the artistry behind the gunfight. Behind every draw, shot, and puff of smoke is a story of talent, dedication, and Hollywood magic. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.